All right.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's not doing it yet. Okay, I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm hoping we're on right now. Unfortunately, I cannot see. So we're going to go ahead and go with it. Let's go.
Come on. We got to hear this intro. Okay.
All right, we're going to try this one more time.
This is the key to knowing when it's truly your world. We're going to move into it how we want.
From hurt to heal, we rise again, finding strength where pain has been. Your voice is power, say it proud. This is the place we heal out loud. From hurt to healed, welcome home.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Victoria Bateman, and we are going to get started. So, thank you all for being here as we gather to reflect on a universal but deeply personal journey, the art of taking stock of who you are, what we carry, how we move forward personally, professionally, and spiritually. Tonight, let me introduce myself again. My name is Victoria Bateman. I am the CEO of It for Mob Services, and I have my amazing co-host with the most, Jerry. She's the CEO of Bluffy First.
Hey, you guys.
Welcome, welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
everyone. I pray everyone's having a great, great evening.
So, before we get started, let me say this. The From Hurt to Heal podcast is a safe, supportive, and non-judgmental space created for open and honest conversations. The host and our guests are not licensed therapists, counselors, or mental health professionals. Our content shared is for inspiration and informational purposes only and is not for us to substitute for professional advice or treatment. We encourage speaking your truth with respect, compassion, and understanding. If you need a professional support system, please seek guidance from a qualified mental health provider. So, today we want to talk about a simple, sometimes uncomfortable idea: weight. Not just the numbers on the scale, but the weight of choices, habits, expectations, and beliefs that shape our lives. We carry weight. All of us carry weight. Some of it's visible, projects completed, titles earned, milestones achieved.
Yes.
Some are invisible, childhood trauma tucked away, fear of failure, and that quiet voice that says you are not enough. And some of it is spiritual weight, the questions that haunt us and the sense of purpose that sustain us. So,
Yeah, you
Jerry,
know,
what do you think about self
What do you think about something?
I was just about to
I,
say,
I
like,
was just about to say, like,
self inventory
self
is not about
inventory is about
shaming ourselves
shaming ourselves
or pretending
or
we have it all
pretending we
figured
have.
out. We have it all figured out. We don't. It's about honesty. It's about having courage, feeling your way through to be more aligned with the greater version of ourselves. It starts with naming what we're carrying and why we're carrying it. So self inventory for me. I mean, it's a lot of things. When it comes to weight, yeah, you do feel weighted. When it comes to decisions you're making in relationships, when it comes to holding your energy, ladies, we all got to keep our energy aligned. So when we're dealing with individuals, we got to be, I think, Miss Natalie, how you doing? Beautiful. Miss Yukima, thanks for joining so much. um, we always have to keep our energy aligned because that's a major part of self inventory. So I think when you say that, that's a big topic for everybody. So today, that's what this topic is about, because we want to invite you guys to kind of dig deep into the different dimensions of weight. because weight comes in different things. Like you said, personal weight. We got that professional weight, right? And not only that, but we got that spiritual weight, ladies. Um, as we open today's dialogue, I encourage you all to just listen, and not only listen with open ears, but before we speak, really kind of put ourselves in another person's shoes for a moment to kind of see where they're coming from when they share their stories. Real progress often begins with vulnerability, and resilience grows with consistent what small acts of kindness towards ourselves and towards others. So with that being said, did we have an opportunity to meet everyone? I know I welcome Miss Natalie and Miss Yukima. We got Miss Paula Carr. Welcome back. We didn't see you last time. Can you give us a couple words, Miss Dow?
Me?
Yes, just say hey,
Are you speaking to Paula?
and yeah, just say hey and how you doing?
Oh,
Since we
I'm
missed you
sorry.
last week.
Hey, how are you? I'm sorry. Hey, I am so glad to be back. I'm so happy to be back. Thank you.
Good, good, good.
Hey, Miss Yukima.
Good evening, ladies. How are you all?
Thank you for joining us tonight.
You're very welcome. Thank you
Good.
for having me.
Miss Natalie, how are you, beautiful? There you go.
There you go.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay. No, I'm doing well. Hope everyone is too.
We are glad you're here tonight. We're gonna have to put everybody on mute because there's a feedback. So, for each guest, once you finish,
Once you
put
finish,
yourself on mute so that way we can
so
afford
that
the
we can afford
feedback that we got going on. All right, so
All right, so
Miss Tamika Day,
Miss
how are
Tamika
you
Day,
tonight?
how are you?
Hi, hi. I'm very well. Thank you for asking. Came in with the seat of my pants. Happy to be here.
Definitely, we are excited to have our guests here tonight. So let's get popping. Let's have some serious conversation about self inventory and the weight we carry. So, I got a question for each one of you. When you hear self inventory, what is the first feeling or memory that you have when you hear self inventory? Or have you even taken the chance to do a self inventory just to see if there are any things you need to change or just anything?
In particular, anything in particular when it comes to like a job or when it comes to personal?
Now remember, if you all speak, take yourself off of mute.
I am on mute. My gosh, I am on mute. But for me, I had to, just stop. I just been like, I was telling Vicky this week, it's like I just had to kind of put myself in park because it's like I was doing too much, or I feel, like I have all these great things happening and coming my way, and then feeling overwhelmed or getting up and like, I don't know about you guys, like sometimes it's like everything is going well, but you get up and you feel so low, or you feel like something in your spirit that just ain't right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how people always say when God is getting ready to elevate you, the your mind, if you're not careful, you allow the voices and to come into your head, Mr. Dow come and try to shake the pot. So I was good. I went through that last week, coming off of my, you know, what I had at the Women's Expos, great reception, what I should be, I was like, oh my God, I just feel so Am I ready? All these things I have to do, you know, and then I was listening to Dr. Miles Monroe, and he had a message where he talked about just stopping and taking inventory of your life and yourself. And then I was looking around me and I got all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I need to get rid of things. I need to just move. Because he was
December,
talking about
December
not
is
December
carrying,
is what?
yes, not carrying all that, the weight you carry. So,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's what I've been doing, like just going through stuff. I took like 3 bags of shoes to the Goodwill. I have clothes
Yeah.
because I have,
You
this pandemic stuff, it really kind of set us back per se, because you know how we used to just, you go shopping, you get up, you get dressed, you go out, you had things to do, right? And now it seemed like, you just Groundhog Day. It's like you just, for me, like kind of like I'm stuck at times doing the same thing over and over again. I don't have nothing to do. My mom have more things to do. Like she have her different, for real. She's 78 and she have a whole agenda and itinerary with things that she do with her friends, her groups, and she just keep it moving.
And
And
that
she
was like
always,
and that was like
the next
the
question
next
would
question
be,
would be
have you guys
have you
found
guys
any
found any
rituals or
rituals or
practices
practices
that sustain
that
your
sustain
spirit,
your spirit,
like without
like
becoming
without becoming?
stagnant or restricted in what you're really trying to do?
can you repeat that one again, Jerry? Because we had a lot of feedback, so they couldn't hear it.
Okay, like has anyone found any rituals or practices, right, that help them kind of stay aligned spiritually without becoming like stagnant and or restricted in what they're trying to do? You shaking your head, yeah, Miss Paula. Come get up off mute, girl. What you got?
So here's to Natalie's point. She spoke of the pandemic, and when Victoria said that this was going to be the discussion for tonight, the first thing that came to my mind was the pandemic changed us all. We None of us think the way we did before the pandemic, because during that pandemic we had to be inside, and you had to, when you're inside you're kind of restricted, so you got more time to think about you and your life. And for me, the pandemic was really, really hard because I lost two, members, my mom and my brother. But for me, the pandemic was a time of introspection. It really made me stop and think about who I am, where I am, what it is that I want, and am I where I want to be? And I had to make some really, really big decisions. And one of the decisions that I made was I was not going back into the office. I just knew that that was not for me to go back and sit back in an office 8 hours a day or more. And so that decision was a huge decision, because before the pandemic, I would have never thought that way. I would have never thought I would be saying, no, I'm not going in the office. But I did. And I did it for a couple of reasons. One is there are things that I want to do. And there are dreams that, I was working at, but I was still suppressing. And so making that decision helped me to move further. Sometimes God, puts you in a position where he's like, hey, listen, I'm trying to get you this other place. You just so stuck on staying in this place. Sometimes he just has to move you in his own way. And so that was one of the things. But so I made that decision, and so okay, but I realized too, I was still carrying a lot of stuff from working in the office. I don't know if you guys are in your families, but there's always that one person or two or three persons that they're kind of the person everybody comes to.
Yep.
You're the person that everybody's kind of like, hey, I need help here. Can you help me how to do this? Can you show me how to do that?
Yep.
So that was a responsibility, and I don't look at it as a burden. I really do look at look at it as a blessing because God put me in this position to have it. I don't mind that, but it comes a time you have to learn when and how to stay in it, and should you move on and learn to start saying no. I'm at the part of learning to say no. I'm at this point in my life because I am trying to fulfill my dreams.
So how did you
So there are
recognize,
things
Miss
that I
Paula?
had to change with me personally, and things that I had to change. How did I recognize it? Because I felt like the only way that I'm going to get to doing Paula and what Paula wants to do to pursue her passion and her dreams, I had to learn how to say no. Because of the fact of the nature of the work that I do, and Victoria knows this as well, I'm an executive assistant by trade. Anybody knows that you're there when your boss is there. You're your boss's everything. You're the everything to the executive. Your job
Right
really
hand.
does not get cut off. It's really a 24/7 job. I promise you, you're working for a real executive. But when I recognized that, though, I had to say, wait a minute now, this isn't all bad because I had to think about all the things that I learned by working under an executive. You know, I looked at the choices that they made. And when you look at choices that the executives made, their families come first. You know,
They
their families
definitely do.
come first. They take care of those things. As an executive assistant, one of the things one of the things that we do is we don't take care of ourselves. We neglect ourselves personally. We like skip those doctor's appointments, or just I'll get take care of it when I can or whatever. So when the pandemic happened and I went through all what I went through personally and professionally, I just decided, no, I can't. This is about Paula. And I will tell you, it is not until this year that I have was been drop dead serious about it. And sometimes you feel bad, like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Or are they going to miss me doing it? No, you have to learn to say, you come first. And that was one of the hardest lessons I had to learn.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I will take that one. Yes. Yeah, what
That
about you, Miss Tamika? We know you look, being a single mom is something that's like in itself um commendable. Is hard work. You had mentioned that before. What is it that you do, or what boundaries do you have put in place because you work, the things you have set in place for yourself with the photography and your child? What boundaries have you put in place not to prevent you from burning out while you do your self inventory? If you want to go, and then you can backtrack to that.
Okay, I'll just have to mirror Miss Carnes. Learn how to say no. I'll say no in a heartbeat now. Mm-mm. I'm sorry. Because we're on borrowed time, right? And if I don't do what I need to do to fulfill what I have to fulfill, then that's my fault for not knowing how to say no. Or it'll take me longer to achieve it because I don't understand that um, a simple ask can delay me developing, learning, taking that step, or even create doubt because I'm so focused on helping somebody else that I don't feel like I have the time to achieve what I need to achieve for me. So anytime something takes me out of my joyous moment or wears me out, no, we're not doing that again. Sorry.
Okay, so with that, how do you like how do you make sure that that aligns with not only like your spiritual belief, but like your core, even when it comes to like your business? Because I know we touched base on your spiritual journey. Is
Hmm.
there ever a time where that conflicts, where you get that where it's conflicted?
Sometimes. So I do a lot of my shoots on the weekend because I want to get to the point where I can be like Miss Carr, where I can say no to the 8 hour, 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? But right now, I got to keep my bills paid. So I got to get in where I fit in. So my routine before I get out of bed, I wake up in a spirit of thanks. I thank the Lord for even allowing me to wake up because everybody didn't get that gift. And even throughout the day, I'm steadily praying and asking for discernment and to be aligning with my purpose so that I don't make decisions that delay me or defy my father. Right. And just steadily asking for forgiveness as far as business. Um, I do a lot of church. Do church on Saturday and Sunday. So because my business primarily operates on Saturdays or after hours, that'll be where the conflict comes in. I do Bible study Saturday mornings, but if I have to go get ready for a shoot, for example, last weekend I had to do a shoot. I have to drop my daughter off in the morning, miss Bible study. Okay, call them. I'm sorry,
Mhm,
but I'll be there
mhm.
next week and then keep moving. Hope I answered your question.
Amazing. All right, Miss Vic, what you got down?
The one thing that I've learned that I need to do is more grounding. Um, I used to go outside and just go stand in the grass and just ground, and I have not done that in a while. And then with Paul and myself, we used to get together every morning and read the devotion for Jesus Calling for that particular day. And it seemed like every time we read that particular day, somehow it resonated with what we were dealing with that day, just for myself. And those were the two main things. And then something else that kept me going was just listening to praise and worship during the day sometimes, just to keep my mind focused. A lot of people don't understand, but with a lot of people don't know I'm disabled. I'm not disabled, but I do have some adjustments in my body that from accidents and things that have affected me to do some of the things that I used to do. And then dealing with menopause, we just gonna keep it 100. Menopause gives you brain fog. Menopause make you tired. So dealing with that,
Emotional.
right? Dealing with that, dealing with health issues, dealing with emotional stuff. I have to find a way to keep grounded, because if not, I can feel myself, or I can, and I'm gonna be straight honest, I can see myself spiraling down a rabbit hole. And sometimes when you get down that rabbit hole, it's hard to get out of it. So that's the one thing that I definitely do. Staying grounded, listening to praise and worship, and just doing a devotion every day. So,
Yeah, I could definitely say with myself, like, for me, I do have to, I'm constantly busy. I always feel challenged when I'm doing something for, for others. Like you said, Miss Paula, we get there and it's just a part of who we are. We keep it moving. We know how to handle some things. When you're the one that people call on, you're always resolution based. You're saying, okay, let me help you with a solution, but I'm more like, let me make sure we don't go back down this road again. you know but so for me, self inventory is making sure that I am very clear when it comes to communication, so that when I do have to say now, your feelings aren't quite hurt. You know what I mean? And it's more of a every people call me the nurturer. I did not think I was I didn't think I was that, but I guess I do, and that comes from understanding. When you reflect and you do have that self inventory, you remember where you once were, and you give that grace. You said, Vic, you got to align yourself with that power, like where you look for spirituality, like to feed yourself spiritually. My go-to in the morning, no, it like literally religiously, is Fred Hammond Clean Heart. I'm like, no matter what, please give me a clean heart, because even when I give you that hard no, I need to be able to sleep at night.
and feel okay and be okay about it. Because a lot of times we forget our worth, and we always trying to make sure everybody else know theirs.
Come on,
But we
come
forget
on.
what ours is. We forget who we are. So I'm gonna ask you all this: how do you recognize when you're carrying too much emotional weight? Yukima, how are you today, girl? You want to answer that question?
Whew, that's a heavy question.
Mhm.
For me, I know, as you all know, I'm in transition. So self inventory is something that I've been doing for the last 8 months. I've come to notice that I know I've noticed that when I'm carrying too much emotional weight, even my own or someone else's, my health takes a turn. My face breaks out. I'm extremely agitated all the time. I've gained weight because I emotional eat. Food's my friend anyway, but I eat extra, right? Um, and I turn away from the things that I enjoy because I'm weighed down. I'm still, functioning as a mother, as a wife, but the things that bring me joy kind of take a back seat when I'm carrying. That's what I've noticed for me. So I just have to. I'm working on ways. Like I'm in therapy twice, twice, 2 times weekly. There we go. To figure out ways to not take on everyone else's emotional baggage.
Yeah, no, good for you. That's that accountability portion where you're doing for yourself, and that's what makes it also more beautiful, right? Because we get so caught up that we do lose focus on who we are ourselves. You lose total focus. You're like, hey, I gotta be this mom robot, wife robot, work robot, like Miss Paula, EC, Miss Natalie, with her foundation, along with the designing and things like that. It's like and her mother, everything, Miss Tamika, everything, Miss Vicky, with your ailment and things like that you're actually doing well with. You are like a rock star when it comes to that. I always tell you that often. That's why I can't do anything but support women who fight to reflect on self-inventory enough to make sure that they're accountable for their behaviors and things that they do, to make sure they push each other. We push each other to keep going.
And sometimes it's just a simple phone call. Look, I just need some uplifting. Just give me a word. That's all I need to hear, just to get me through the day. Because sometimes you can't do it for yourself, because you have poured so much in so many other people. When it's time for you to do that self inventory, when it's time for you to realize that you're priceless, that to realize your worth, you're so drained that you cannot mentally think about yourself. So when do you say, okay, I gotta stop, I gotta do my self inventory, and I gotta lose some of this weight? When do you do that?
Sometimes for some people, I think, is it too late?
It's never too late. For
You know,
me, I think you need to take that step. Um, because sometimes, because we just forget us. And like I'm 57 years old, and like I said before, it took me up until this point to realize who I was. These last few weeks, I've been having health issues. This has been my time to do self inventory. I didn't realize how much weight I was carrying. Emotional weight from my mom, emotional weight from my childhood. I didn't realize all of this until my mom passed away. Then I realized, okay, you have been carrying so much to the point that you have been trying to please everybody around you, but what about you? You know?
Miss Paula,
And
Miss Paula, I didn't know.
go ahead.
Go ahead,
Miss Natalie.
Miss Natalie.
Vicky, what you're saying about, I was thinking about you. I was actually praying for you.
I want to go back to a thing that Victoria had spoke about.
I was actually praying for you because you talked about just these past few weeks, everything you've been going through with your health. And it took me back to when I was going through my journey with my son. And I got so sick with the blood clots issues. And the doctor told me that I was carrying too much. I was internalizing a lot of things. And that was the reason why I got the blood clots on my lungs and stuff, was because of stress. And we go through all these things like you were saying, the weight we're carrying, whether, personal, some things we can't control, or we think, or we think we have control of, and we actually don't, you know. Like last year for me, I went through a season where my father died and I lost a good friend. And I didn't understand the loss of a friend, how it caused me to react. My father's death, which I never had a relationship with, that I thought didn't bother me at all. But in losing that person that meant something to me, it took me in a pit, somewhere that even when I was going through with Robert, with the situation with my son, that I never found myself so emotionally broken. So yes, when we going through these things with life, with stuff we're dealing with trauma, and you losing your mom, and life changes, and it costs your body, if you're not careful or to take care of yourself, because a lot of the stuff we go through, we don't even realize we're dealing with that until we're dealing with it. Or the doctor, when you go and they're telling you, you have this going on in your body, you have that going on in your body, and you're like, well, dang, I'm not doing these things. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do all this stuff sometimes that they say, you don't do to bring certain things on. And for me, it was stress. So I know what stress can do to your body. So that's why for me, I've learned going forward to just not deal with certain things, because I can just shut myself down. And it's great to have women in your life that you can turn to and call and say, you know what, I'm having a bad day today. I've called you a couple of times and be like, I'm just feeling today, and you like, don't stay there. You feel it, go through it, but don't stay in that place of because sometimes the more you stay, the harder it is to pull yourself out. And that's when, we started to have all these things happening with us. And in the process, you still have to be mom, wife, mom, grandma, friend, sister, everything in between. And then you like, okay, I'm being all of these things for everybody. So what am I being for myself? So it's very important that you stop or, have a place to go in your head or with yourself, for you to be able to get a hold of yourself. Because if you don't get a hold of yourself, like people like us, because we're feelers, right? Some of us, like, I'm a feeler. I can feel other people pain. I don't like for people to hurt. If I'm in a position, I would take care of you before I take care of me. And that's something that I always just been around that. My grandmother, my mom. And I used to tell myself growing up that I would never be doing some of the things that I find myself doing now. And it's just, in you. But to be able to set that boundary to make sure. And then sometimes you get so disappointed because the things or how you feel about people and the things that you do for people, they don't even think about you in your situation to do the same thing for. And not like you do tit for tat per se, right? But sometimes because of how you think and how you react, you like, when your time is here, like, dang, can you think of me in that way? So that's why going forward with my life, I live a life of gratitude. I wake up in the morning in a grateful place because God had been so good to me. I have no choice but to be grateful, So I have to take what he gave to me. And sometimes, we can tell ourselves, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. But somebody may call you that your heart can't help but to open to, what, then you be like, dang, I knew I shouldn't have done that today.
But
But
don't you
that's what.
consider that, like, don't you consider, people don't realize it, but stress is a weight. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah,
Where
they don't know.
they can emotionally, physically, professionally weigh you down. So
Yeah.
how do you combat that? What are some tools that you use to combat beating stress?
For me, I'm a worshiper. I
Worship.
like what you were saying. I'm a praise and worship girl. When I go to church, if I miss praise and worship, I don't feel it. So I get up in the morning with my music. I like the old hymns. I'm an old school girl, right? So I love praise and worship. And I talk to myself. I get up sometime, even when I don't want to do or whatever, and I'm like, girl, you know what? Get up. You know what you know. And I'm blessed because I have my mom here with me. So she picks up on my mood because I'm a person that I think you call me sometime and you hear my voice. People that know me, they're close to me, they can hear it in my voice. You can look at me or hear me and know that I'm not in a good place. So because I move with my emotions, because if I'm feeling whatever I'm inside of me is what's going to come out. I'm not one of those people that can put on that good happy face and go and act like everything is okay. I just can't do that. And my mom have that gift. She can be in the worst place, but when you look at her, you will never know she's going through anything. But for me, I will come in here. Sometimes she will get in my face, and she always talk to me about being grateful in whatever that's going on with me, that I have to be grateful and thankful, even when I don't have. So I go to that, and I love to listen to Dr. Miles Monroe. I found people, sometimes I go to TD Jakes, or, there's different, you know, I like inspirational. I like inspiration. I like to hear people story, because when I'm
Exactly.
going through and I hear what someone else, and I'm the type of person, I'm like, wow, God, you did it for her. I want to tap into your blessing that
And
and even with,
it's just gonna be on his time and not yours.
yes, yes, and to wait and to understand that God has a time. We all have our appointed time. And that's something people always come to me with what happened with my son, when they're like, how did you deal with
Right.
your son going through? And I always tell people, that was the only time in my life, I guess, I know, because I was fighting for what was most important to me. I had no fear.
That's it. And that's the
Yeah.
thing too. When it comes to family,
Yeah.
you have no
Yeah.
fears. You don't mind walking on water for most of them. Some of them,
Yeah. Because we're
but
fighting for
so
the
let's
most important thing to you.
exactly. So, ladies, how do you articulate your core values, and how do they influence decision making under pressure? Because we all under pressure one way or another. How do you articulate your core values when you're under pressure?
How do you articulate core values when you're under pressure? I think with that one we kind of said, I think we all agree, the no, the no, the N and the O, the capital. That's how we articulate some of our core values in layman's terms. Is like,
Yeah.
because everything else
Well, I have to say for me, but I would say for me, I'm a very Victoria knows me better than yeah. I'm a very straightforward person. I am not a person that's hard to understand. You basically will basically know where I'm coming from when I'm coming from a different place. But I want to really go back to something Victoria said when she's first one. Her and I used to read Jesus Calling. Jesus Calling to me is like an amendment to the Bible. And she's right. We will get up, we will read verses, and we didn't just read it. We will go through every verse and talk about every scripture that they have for that particular day. For me, that is a way of kind of like releasing some of my anxiety. I get to sit down and talk with somebody who shares the same ideology as me, or she could say to me, so and so and so and so and so, and I'll be like, blow them off. You know who you are. know who I am. Another thing for me, Victoria will attest to, I walk. I can walk. When I walk, I clear my mind. When I walk, I mean, I can just like, and I enjoy it. So it's like the few minutes of just like not thinking about work, not thinking about personal things, but just walking, just walking, and that's something that I do. But I really will encourage everybody, if you can, if you don't have one, please get you a copy of Jesus Calling. Please get. I promise you, you will absolutely love it. How do
I
I
think
get to
if we could get
express my
that, if
core
we could
values
text
when
it.
I'm in like in a situation? Okay, the Jesus Calling. Okay, yeah, but I think that how do I get my core values? I don't think it's hard for me to get my core values because, like I said earlier, I'm a straight up person. I'm not somebody you have to figure out. You don't have to figure out where I'm coming from. You don't have to figure out, what I'm feeling or what you think I'm thinking or a way you might. It's very seldom I may surprise you and not have an outcome that you think that I may have. But I think that for me, being as straightforward as I am, it's a little easier in saying, "Hey, this is not jiving with me. This is not working for me. This is not a two-way street. This looks more like a one-way street, and that doesn't work for me."
Mhm.
And so I don't have that. I don't have that. If anything, kind of like learn how to temper that. I had to learn how to say what I feel in a more diplomatic way.
I understand
I
what you're
understand.
saying.
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I think I'm getting some feedback on my end.
Is it better now? And I apologize, everyone, for the feedback. Right now, we can't control it, but like I said, if each guest, once you finish talking, if you could just put yourself on mute after you finish, that way we can try and fix the situation.
And real quick, I think we all talked about like what our strengths are when it comes to self inventory and stuff like that. What if we could give each other along with that the book that you're gonna text us, Miss Paula, so we can all kind of be blessed with that information as well. What's an action that you guys can commit to, or suggest that we try to commit to in the next week that could assist us with self inventory?
I journal. And I do it that way because sometimes just sitting in prayer and just saying it, uh, I get a little scatterbrained, squirrel.
Journaling
Um,
is wonderful.
mhm. And the action of journaling makes me focus on what I'm trying to say. So that's why I appreciate that for what it is. I journal everything, prayers, all that.
I have not found the beauty in journaling. It seems like whenever I do better at like goal setting, like when I write, like, or what would we call that, like vision, you know what I mean, like I'll write down my visions rather than journal what my thoughts are about what occurred. Is that weird?
No, that's what helps you. That's what you do. It's not weird at all.
Okay, because I can't even, when I want to write something, I can't even, it's almost like I can't talk to myself in that way.
You are better at speaking your vision and
Journaling doesn't
talking through
have
your
to be
vision in order for you to figure out what road you need to take. Have you noticed
Say,
that?
low key, yeah. What'd you say, Tamika?
I
Hmm.
was gonna say you're not limited to one medium as far as journaling. Like you can do it, voice recordings, right? And then you don't have to write. That takes that action
Right,
out of it.
right.
So the action of writing brings me peace and allows me to focus on my task. But if the verbal aspect does that for you, then just record yourself and you can use AI to
Hmm.
uh, transcribe it.
Yeah, I might be dangerous. I might be dangerous with that, y'all. With the love, I'm having fun with the love.
Jerry, that's what I was gonna suggest.
You
You
know,
were
I
gonna
say
suggest?
journaling because, you know, I'm sorry. I said journaling because writing is easy for me because I write. You know, that's what I do. But uh, Tamika is right. Like I have an app that I do every day. It's called Storia, and it actually helps you build like you know it's kind of like the vision thing because they do have the microphone, you know, you can record it. But for me, writing it out, and they give you these prompts every day. It's a different prompt, and and you write from that prompt from your personal experience. And I think I've been doing mine almost a year now.
Oh,
And I tried to get another friend, Minette, to join me doing that. But there are vision boards. If vision is your story, like you said, you're going to St. Louis, Jerry, you can vision like whatever that company is that you're going to talk to, what you want to talk about, how you want them to see you, how you want to present yourself, you know, and what you want them to walk away, you know, thinking about Jerry.
okay. Taken, taken.
Now, I think Yukima was getting ready to say something. Yukima, did you have something to say there?
Yep, I was gonna say, Miss Jerry, as long with the journaling, like I journal as well, but I used to journal writing, and when I had time and patience. Now I journal with ChatGPT because I pay for it. And for me, I think and speak faster than I write. So when I'm talking to Chat, there's features in Chat that you can have a conversation with Chat. And through those conversations, I've learned for me, Chat will read you for filth.
Really? Really?
It
Chat
will tell you
will
who you
read
really are.
you for filth. So you can sit there and you can put lipstick on a pig while you talking to Chat all you want. Chat gonna see through all of that and read you for filth. Talk about getting your feelings hurt by AI once
So
a week.
where do it gathers all the information from you speaking to it?
The more that you speak to it, the more it tailors. Like mine greets me Grand Rising Queen because that's how I speak to it.
Mhm.
So it tailors to how you will receive the information. Mine has a name. Her name is Ava. That's what she named herself. So, so when you're journaling, Jerry, look, I sit and I'll be like driving places. And I have a thought. Boop, and I just talk to Chat. Chat, blah, 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 blah. And did you know? And if I'm having stressors, I need like a quick answer because whatever I had talked to at therapy today, I didn't like what I received. So I'll tell Chat, let me tell you what happened today. And I talk to Chat just like I'm talking to Tamika.
You said you'll
And
let it
Chat will
out, and
take
then
it.
that's gonna give you
I
okay,
sure
okay.
will. And then it'll take it all in because it has like a little where you can speak to it, and you can speak for like 3 minutes at a time, and then it'll take it all in. It'll summarize what you said, and then it'll let you know if you're full of it or not. It'll let you know what inventory you need to take of self. It'll let you know if in that moment you're playing victim. It will let you know, hey, you need to do this for self-care. Would you like me to help you do a schedule? Would you let me help you give you resources? Would you like it? Chat is something serious for $20 a month.
Mm, okay,
Yes, it
okay.
is. That is my
Okay.
cousin.
Interesting,
ChatGPT is,
interesting, ladies and
girls,
gentlemen.
ChatGPT is my cousin. I promise you.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Really?
chat will chat if you want to do like your vision boards, like if you have affirmations, chat will give you extra affirmations and ask you, hey, do you want me to print that out for you? You want me to make it a PDF, a PowerPoint, spreadsheet?
Yeah.
You got to pay for it though. If you don't pay for these extra features, you won't do it.
Right.
Get
Do
your
I
check.
need to tell
But
that to you?
I definitely will have to look into that just to dibble and dabble, just to see what it feel like, you know.
yeah, but the more you tell Chat, now if you tell it, because I've told it some stuff, and it'll tell you like some stuff that I've told it was like sensitive in nature, so it doesn't keep that information. It will delete the sensitive stuff, and it'll tell you that it's deleted the sensitive stuff, but it's still going to give you feedback
Mm.
of the whatever sensitive information that you fed it.
So
It's
do
just not
you
going to keep that information in its little memory.
so do you tell it that it's sensitive information, or based on what you're discussing, it realizes it's sensitive information?
It realizes that it's sensitive information.
Wow, that's some scary stuff, boy. Whew.
I don't know about that, Sean. I
That's
don't
some
know about
scary
that.
stuff. I respect it, but it's
Look,
scary.
I'm gonna stick to the old. I'm gonna stick to calling my girl Inky. I'm gonna stick to calling my girl. I'm like, she'll
No,
hold
because like
it.
if you're talking to it like about sexual assault, sensitive things, domestic abuse, anything that's like that in those types of arenas, it will delete that. It won't keep that record, but it will respond to whatever you say.
Okay. Okay. Look, I know. Okay, I know it's gotten kind of heavy, and then we took it light with the AI thing. And before we even go anywhere else, I just want to tell each and every one of you, I want to wish you guys some happy holidays here. I want to get it out before we even go into anything else, and it's on my heart. Um, I want us to continue to commit to long practices of choosing yourself, whether it be professional, personal, spiritual. Where you'll conduct yourself, whether it with greatest of integrity, you know what I mean, good morals, honesty, and commit to having that, that vision of self inventory, taking that vision of self inventory and making it was priority in your life. You know what I mean? For you, outside of the Lord above, we already know who's the head of our life. I think we can all agree on that. So when I say these things, I don't say it speaking in that realm, but I say it more like tangible things, like things that we can prioritize and stuff like that.
So, ladies, what is one thing that you can tell, just one thing that you could tell everybody to ap- appreciate self-inventory and letting weight go? Did y'all get the question?
No, repeat that.
Okay. So, what is one thing that you can tell everybody how to know if they need to do self-inventory and if they need to lose some of the weight? How can you tell them, what is one way you can tell them that it's okay to let it go, to let that weight go? Y'all got the questions down?
I think the way I'm understanding it is, I think depending on who it is, you could say let it go. That's, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not let go, but focus on a different area of what the issue is. Because we
Okay.
all have an issue. We may have an issue, but as sometimes we focus so much on the end result that we forget that there's things that we need to do in between. You know what I mean? So maybe I would say that for self inventory is
Do you
don't
feel like
worry.
self-inventory is important?
I
Yeah.
Do you all feel like it's important? And
I
what was
do.
the latest? I know you came. I think you've done yours recently. I'm going through mine now. Um, what's the first step that you feel like people need to take to start their self-inventory process?
I know for me it was the first step I needed to take is I needed to take my health seriously. So it's and accepting the fact that I am not 20 anymore. I can't keep going like I'm 20 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My body is like, girl, you 45, sit down. You know, you got broken up by Uncle Sam. Your body doesn't operate like that anymore. So having to accept that first, that I'm not a young whippersnapper.
You can still
Anymore.
snap now, but you just not a young whippersnapper, but you can still
Yeah.
snap.
Say it. Say it.
Yes. I had to embrace the fact that I am an auntie, that I am, a cougar. Once I accepted that, okay, cool. Now what? In this new era of Ukema, what brings me peace? And focus on those things. If it don't bring me peace, I don't want it. I don't want it around me. I don't want it near me. I'm not entertaining it.
I love that.
That's part of that. That's part of that healing and that acceptance of taking your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the things, as we were younger, we would tolerate. As we are older, we no longer have to tolerate and
Say
won't
it.
tolerate if it disturbs our peace.
It's just funny now how we realize how much peace is important. When you were younger and back in your young days, you ain't think nothing about peace.
Nothing at all.
Well, anyway, it wasn't that, you wasn't thinking about peace to the point that you be like, I just need that space, that safe zone around me. Um,
Mhm.
so what is one thing for the rest of you? What is one thing that you realize that you need to do for your self inventory?
I think for me, once I found my purpose, I started to walk in it. Because when I started the foundation 6 years ago, the business, I didn't really understand fully because my business is a gift. It's not something that I planned for. It's not something that I trained for. It was something that in my pain, I found my purpose, right? And it took me these past 4 or 5 years to find my purpose, that I can honestly, to know what it is that God called me to do. Because I found that when I'm walking in my purpose, I'm happy. And my calling is, I'm actually just naturally, what word can I use? I just naturally like to help people. It's something that I do without blinking. I don't blink an eye. Like this house, my son pointed out to me. He said, Mommy, do you know how many people have lived with us? He came home for Thanksgiving. I had given his room. God always placed me. It seemed like I'm always connecting with people. And they come and it's just something that it took me a while to understand the grace that I carry is to be able to be there for people. And I've learned that it's okay, even when it's not reciprocated, that it's okay, because I don't do it I do it because God tells me to do it.
You
It's
don't
like
do
I can say I'm not doing
expectations.
something,
Yeah.
yes, and then it falls in my spirit, or once, because I go where I'm led, I help what I'm led to do. And once I do it with my whole heart, with no, I don't think about it. So I had to accept that, walking in my purpose, that I like to make sure that people are good. I don't like to see people hurt. I don't like to be the cause of intent. I can forgive or turn away from a lot of things, but what I don't do is intentional hurt, because I feel like we're all human, that we do things to sometimes that's not pleasing, even to ourselves. You find yourself at times in spaces and places that is not, but to be able to know that I don't do, I'm, I don't intentionally inflict things on people that's not going to be good for them. You know what I'm saying? At least I don't think so. But if I am, it's nice when people can check me and say, hey, Nat, look at it from this way and not that way. Because sometimes, we think we know everything, or we think my way is the only way.
And you got to be able
And
to give and receive. If you can give it out, you got to be able
yeah,
to take it too. Because a lot of
yeah,
times
you
people
got to
can
be
dish
able
it
to.
out and throw it in your face, but
Hmm.
when it's time to come back, they get in their
Hmm.
feelings and get salty and
Yeah,
act
yeah,
certain ways, and then you got to sit up here and they want you to pacify them. But
yeah.
how am I going to do that? You grown just like I am.
And you got
Hmm.
and you got to let those people go. And I think sometimes it's hard for us to know that it's not us. Because we do self inventory by talking to ourselves, right? Because when we're doing certain things, we go, they're saying the man in the mirror, because whatever you do, you start with yourself. Whatever decision you make, you have to look at yourself, right? You have to live with it. And a lot of time, because people would take sometime your good deed, people would take your good deeds and use it against you.
Yep.
And then
And you find yourself,
it
yeah,
becomes an expectation because then they
yeah,
expect for you to do
hmm,
it on a
yeah,
regular basis. So
yeah. And you have to know how to, like with me, I'm a straightforward person. If I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it. And I
yeah,
basically would tell you, no, I'm not. If it don't feel right with me, I'm not doing it. Because if I'm doing something because it's coming from my heart to do it, I do it wholeheartedly. I have no question about it. I'm going to do it. But
so
that's
what
something,
about
like you said, we have to learn to say no. And for
yeah.
me, I know how to say no. And I say it in a way that if I don't want to do it, I don't. Just like people tell me I'm a great cook, right? But my mom said, don't ask me to cook when I don't want to cook, because you ain't gonna want to eat
That's it.
it.
So
So
what about
That
if
part.
everybody
you,
else? What do you all think? What are some what is one step that you can tell a person to take for to start their self inventory?
I think Paula had mentioned earlier, walking and things
Hmm.
like that, on
mhm,
top of what Tamika said with journaling, and Yukima had said, as well as, what would we call it? What would we call talking to Chat GPT? Um,
AI
You know, like
therapy.
blogging. What is this?
yeah, like
Yeah, AI therapy. That's a good
audio,
Technology
one.
therapy,
audio journal, like
audio
Yeah, it's
journal.
like an audio journal.
an
I
audio
said
journal.
I said technology therapy.
There you go. There you go. Some tech therapy.
Some
So we
tech
Take
gotta
that.
take.
therapy.
I like that.
Yeah, there you go. That tech therapy. We gonna go with that one. Um, I think setting yourself up with those tools will actually help with how you're trying to attain or retain the self inventory.
And doing exactly what we're doing right now, just having the conversation, because it makes you think, it makes you stop and think about yourself, and nothing but for a few minutes. Think about what it is what you want, where you at right now, what is needed. And if you're like me, you get those million questions in your head, and I'm a writer. I have to sit down. I have to write it out. I have to write everything
Hmm.
out. I
Hmm.
have to write everything
Hmm.
out. But it is just doing this, having these conversations. Sometimes it's good to have conversations with family members because they understand you probably better. But it's good to have conversations with people outside of your family. It's also good. And a lot of people may not agree with this, but it's also good to have conversations with people that that you're the opposite of, and they don't think anywhere close to where your thinking is, because it is good to get different perspectives.
Yes.
You know, it's good to, as a writer, I had an argument one time, and I was told that that because I'm African American, I should focus on that. I disagree. I think you limit yourself when you do that. So don't limit yourself. And what I'm saying in this respect is that
you got good girlfriends and whatever, you got family, but it's sometimes, it's nice to have a conversation with somebody that you may think that that's totally opposite of what you are,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you know.
And
Yep.
don't surround yourself with yes people too.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
cannot surround yourself because
You
that's
will
another
fail
key.
every time.
You know what you're really looking for when you go to somebody and talk.
That's right.
Everybody has a person that they can talk to. I know off top if I want somebody to add fuel to the fire, who to call. I
Yes,
know if I want somebody to talk me down off the ledge or give me some clear understanding, who to call.
that's right.
I know if I need somebody to help me with the words that are going to come out of my mouth when I can't formulate them without expletives and all things
Beating
like
them
that.
up and hurting
I
their feelings.
I know who to call. Like
Right.
really, and they're gonna help me verbalize it in a nice way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We need
Exactly.
to know who our team players are, and man, use them accordingly.
Exactly. And that, I think that's the one of my strong points are I am not scared to talk to people, you know. Okay, Victoria, we didn't ask you for your five, sis. But I mean, it's just by nature. I'm not scared to talk to people. I will talk to a stranger. I will talk to a stranger. I mean, with common sense, but I will talk to a stranger because you'll be surprised at the outcome that you get. That the perspective that you get. You cannot be limited. Don't limit yourself. Part of your growth is opening up.
Absolutely. You
Can't
got
walk in
anything,
fear.
Vic?
You
Huh?
can't walk in fear.
E- Exactly. And I had that one of the things about it is I have learned to say, do it scared. I heard people say it all the time. I promise you, this is the year that I had told myself I am doing it scared. And I have to say that so far I feel like it is paying off. There are moments when I think it's not. But, Rome was not built in a day. And I have to keep telling myself that. But I promise you, 2026 is going to be it.
Come on.
Well, ladies,
Wait, real quick, if I can.
Yes.
The
yes,
only other
ma'am.
thing that I would say is forgiveness. Will be the only other thing that I
Mm,
would like to add.
forgive yourself.
Right? Yeah, forgive yourself, forgive people, and then
Yes.
once you have that clarity, right, and you've released all that, then you can really start that process to heal.
I
I think
love
that
it.
is a great start
Yes.
because you, like you said, when we started this, like you didn't know how much you were holding on to from your loss and
Mhm,
from,
mhm.
your experience.
Right.
So that'll just be a great thing to start, a great way to start.
I
And
love it.
when you let something go, let it go.
Hmm.
Let it go. If you say I've let this go, let it go. Don't keep talking about it. Move on because the more you keep talking about it, that means you haven't let it go.
Mm.
The more you keep talking about it, you have not let it go. And to me, and Mika is right. You have to learn to forgive because you cannot move forward if you forget. And one of the things I tell myself in order to forgive, if God can forgive me, I can forgive you.
And I will be definitely honest. If not, I would be so hypocritical if I didn't say this. I can forgive,
On to
but
the
I don't got to deal with you after. I could
Exactly.
forgive
How
and
you
I
do
could
this,
be,
Agnes?
Mhm.
come on. Come on. Forgiveness don't mean I got to deal with you
That's
still.
right. Forgiveness doesn't mean that I have to agree with you and I like you or whatever. I forgive you so I can move on.
You can
But
forgive somebody and walk
sometimes,
away.
Yeah.
yeah, but sometimes people think when they do stuff to you, and like I don't, because like Paula was saying, you let it go. So when I forgive or I let it go, I'm really not thinking about you.
Exactly.
I really don't care. I see you. If I see you first, etiquette say I see you first, I say hello. You see me. If you see me first, you don't say hello. I'm not saying because you see me first, you speak. I see you first, I speak. So people be thinking that, oh no, I'm not even and they'll be like, oh, I don't remember. That's how women, friends, because I don't have many friends, and that's a problem that I have. like at one point I thought I had an issue with unforgiveness, but then I thought about it and I searched myself because, like I say, it started with me, right? And I could be wrong, but I'm like, you know what? I don't hate this person. I'm
Exactly.
not thinking about you. I want the best for you, but I don't have to deal with you because when I deal with you with trust.
Yeah.
And when that trust is broken, people can't expect you to just dust it off and come back like nothing happened. And
Exactly.
my thing is that because I don't like rejection, I'm the type of person that's one of my biggest problem is being rejected. And I came to realize that was my problem I had with dealing with rejection because the lack of connection with my father and all these different things that I didn't realize that what it cost me until 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? The choices that I've made, whether it's relationships, friendships. So I don't have that many friends. So, but the friends that I do have, I value them. But sometimes people will cut you off with no explanation because I like to talk. I'm a talker. If I feel like I've done something to you, I want you to tell me what it is. I want to fix it or apologize or whatever, right?
Mm.
But people will cut you off or they will treat you a stuck because you have to adapt to how that person treats you. I can't keep calling Jerry and Jerry don't respond to me, or I call Vicky, Vicky don't respond like she would normally respond. I can only do it so many times because of my feelings. So I have to rein myself in, right? And then, especially without saying, I think we have to learn more to say what if somebody offend you, especially people that you care about. To say, you know what you said to me, explain what you said because I go off of my mother. My mom has a group. They've been friends for over 50 something years. I always tell Vicky about them, and we laugh because they are a hood. You know, they would go. They don't. They would, but they always find their way to. And I see the communication. Like if this is going on, they have to talk about it. Accountability, and I think that's something that's lacking with some of us is having that accountability
You better
that
say
when
it.
people hurt us, especially the people that we love and care about sometimes, we don't have, sometimes you just let it go per se, or you don't have someone to say, you know what? And some things are not even that serious, but the lack of communication. I always say lack of communication is the killer of everything good,
And
right?
plus, a lot of times we pacify them. We'll
Right.
pacify them.
Yeah,
Oh, you know
yeah.
what? They
And
did
just
that last time. We're used to it. We'll just,
Right.
and
Just
keep
be
doing it
ignore it.
until
And
excuses.
you
they
gotta stop doing that.
Yeah. But
You
until
gotta
you
call
snap.
people to the table.
I
They
want
call
to say
you
Yeah,
to
something.
the table, right? So why not call them to the table? Look,
yeah.
I know
And
you're
say, you
doing
know
this,
what?
but this is not gonna
Yeah,
work. You have to change. If you want to change, or if you don't want to change, it's on you. But I don't have to deal with it at this point because I'm at a point now. I don't mind walking away,
Right. Go
and
ahead,
I'll
Miss
do it
Paula.
unapologetically.
I
And we
want to
don't
bring
talk
up
about
a point because when I say let it go, one thing that my mother and my grandmother, they could read a person like a book. And I did not like it when I was young. I used to like, oh, I don't want to hear this, blah, blah, blah. But as I got older, I
it. You
started
do
seeing,
it very well.
I do,
hmm,
let me tell you something about when you walking around upset with somebody and you want them to know that you upset with them, you're giving them power.
yeah,
You just gave them power because you are letting them know that they rent space in your body, in your head, rent free.
And then you
rent
probably
free.
not
Yeah,
renting any of theirs.
And they go on about their business, they live in their life, and you sitting up here still mad at them.
mad at them. Hmm,
You're upset with them for whatever reason, but they go on about their
hmm.
life. They on to the next thing. That is the one thing my mother used to tell me, Paul. If somebody did something wrong, do not waste your time or your energy talking about getting
On that.
somebody back.
Hmm.
She said,
Yep.
"Vengeance is mine, thus said the Lord." She said, "I'm gonna tell you something. They may not pay for it today, but they will pay for it one day. It may be
Yeah.
tomorrow. It may be to 5
Yep.
years." She say their kids may pay for their sins, but you ain't got to waste your time or your energy talking about getting somebody back. Now this
Yeah.
comes from a woman that would fight somebody in a heartbeat, but she said, you
Come
know,
on.
but I did learn those lessons, and you know, my grandmother was a very strong woman, very, very, very
Mhm.
strong woman. And you know, sometimes growing up, we were like, "Oh my dear, what is she talking about?" But let me tell you, baby, once you got older, you start understanding everything that they were talking about and
Everything.
how she got
Yep.
her power. And I mean, my grandmother was somebody who truly understood her power.
Yep.
You know, she understood her power, and she used to tell us this all the time. It's not a human being alive that she was scared of.
Come on.
Yep. And that
And I
is
was
so
like,
true.
but she was, and she carried herself, and people loved her, loved
Mhm.
her. People
Her
loved her.
actions. It had to be her actions. It didn't
Yes,
even it was her actions matched her
exactly.
glow.
And that's and if you want to get out here and do your thing and be who you say you want to be or whatever, those are the things that we have to think about. Like talk about like we do it and move on.
Yep.
Yeah, and keep moving because that's how I've been feeling this year. This year,
Yeah.
and I'm so proud of myself. I will give my own self kudos right now because this year I have lived up to what I said that I was gonna do. And
Girl, you supposed to
Yep.
say, I am
but
so
I let
proud
a
of
lot of
me.
things and a lot of people go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did. It didn't say life was easy. It was hard. This was a hard year. I lost another brother this year. This was a hard year, but I still did what I said that I was going to do.
Yes.
So I give
Yes.
myself a little kudos. You know, you may not see the fruits of it right now, but I promise you will. I promise
It's
you. So it's
coming.
by
No, we
next
Yep.
week.
see those
It's
fruits in
on the
that
way.
face.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I promise you in 2026 you're gonna see it.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
Say that.
Yeah,
Say
Definitely.
what
yeah,
you say, mean what you say,
exactly.
and what you say,
Exactly.
Paula,
And
it is so true.
don't let nobody take you off your course. You know, you cannot be bothered with the senseless stuff.
Mhm.
And you
Stand
Yep.
can
on
identify
business.
that ASAP if you do what you're
Yep.
supposed to do.
Hey,
The
Yep.
one thing
we
that you
talked once
definitely need to
before.
do.
We talked once
Mhm.
before about setting boundaries.
Yes.
In order to move forward, we talked about how we have to hold ourselves accountable. I think what I will say in being vulnerable is saying family plays a major part. Family, I'll say that again, plays a major part in testing your, for lack of a better word, pimping.
Absolutely.
Family will test you.
That's right,
And,
baby.
and this is the part where you have to allow grace to lead, right?
They're your litany test. Your family really is your litany test. I promise you.
No lie. And
They are
when
your
we
litany
say
test.
no lie, Miss Paula, and when we say you have to like stay in your lane, maintain your lane, it does not even matter. And I will say this to the utmost. I right now I will say having my own issues with certain family members and things where for me not to communicate is a direct choice
Yes.
so that the line is not blurred. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I will uncover that. I will uncover that line at any moment, but you will follow the guideline. There has to be
Mhm.
order in everything we do.
I'm gonna say one more thing, and this is what I have learned this year. Shut up. Shut up. Stop talking about what you
That's
gonna
right.
do, how you gonna, because the more you talk about it, the more the person sitting next to you saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure that don't happen," whether it's intentional or unintentional. I have learned to shut up. You
Mhm.
gotta learn to shut up.
Lead
And
with
when you
love.
shut
You
Yep.
up,
so right, Miss Paula. Lead with love. Let him show out for you.
Yep.
yeah, just shut up
Sometimes.
and do it. You know, let your actions, show what you've been doing. Just do it because the more you talk about it, and it's so disheartening because it's sometimes it's your closest people in your family that you think that you're going to get the biggest support from, and it just does not come that. It
Come
just
on.
not that away. You know, it's just when I wrote my books and my kids' books, and I'm thinking, oh boy, family. No, I can tell you right now, I come from an extremely large family. I promise you, 10 people ain't bought books.
Come on.
It is what it is. It took me a long time to
Yeah.
get there. It is what it is. And sometimes you think that, you know, the people that are in your corner, your close, supposed to be close friends, those people not there sitting back, you know, oh, why are you doing this? I thought you were going to do that. And that's when
This
I
ain't
learned.
tea, this coffee, and I'm gonna sip it. I'm gonna sip it.
Because that's what I learned. I'm telling you now, and I hear it. People on social media saying, "Shut up, just go do it. Just go do it."
Yes.
So
And
I
all right,
know I had said that we was gonna do a we were gonna do a 4-part series, but because it's close to the holidays, this will be the last one for the year.
That's all right. We got
So
2026.
ladies,
come on.
I want to thank you all so much for taking out the time to be a part of this panel discussion. It means the world to me. You have no idea how much I appreciate you all taking out the time to do this with me, taking this ride. I'm excited about January because January we're going to focus on our brothers. So we're doing a men speak segment in January. So we're looking for men that don't mind speaking their truth to hit us up so we can have you a part of this journey in January.
Okay.
If you're interested, you can reach out to me at from hurt to healed podcast at gmail.com. So that's from hurt, the number to healed podcast at gmail.com. We'll have the information down in the comments. But ladies, if there's something that you would like to end on your end, please say whatever you want to say. You know, we're going to keep it cute and keep it short, but, you know, speak your piece before the holidays. So, if Jerry, if you want to go first.
Oh man, I will say, let God lead, choose you. It will come through. God gonna make sure it comes through. It's not gonna be on your time. It's gonna be on His time. Stay elevated. Stay focused. Be enlightened, and love will lead.
That's right.
Thank you. All right, Miss Tamika Day, what do you want to say before the holiday?
Everyone be
You heard that
blessed.
rhyme, right? Go ahead.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
But everyone be blessed. Um, discernment, forgiveness, and we're getting a fresh start. So take advantage of it.
All right, Miss Natalie.
I
Words of
would say, well, I would just like to say thank you to all of you beautiful, wonderful ladies that God has placed in my path that I have the pleasure and honor of knowing, and just all of the blessings and just to be in the presence of all of you. Miss Paula, Jerry, Tamika, Yakima, Miss Vicky for being the vine that connects us all. You know, we thank God for you. And I pray that God continue to bless us all
Mm-hmm.
and that we continue to walk in our purpose and trust His timing and know that through it all, whatever we go through, that He got us. And for us to just continue to walk in gratitude, and that this holiday season for Christmas and New Year, that I pray that God would bless us all and give us all of our heart's desire. And you guys stay blessed. And I pray blessing over all of your family. And Vicky, I pray a special prayer of healing for you. I want you to march into this new year feeling well, that you'll be able to spend time with your family, especially to enjoy your beautiful grandbaby, and that I know that your heartbeat. And I look forward to seeing her in the fashion show on the runway. Hey, Tamika, you too. But you know, I get excited about the kids. You know, I love my babies. So, but I'm so, and thank you for allowing her to be a part of. I'm very, very grateful to you all, and the pleasure of meeting all of you amazing, beautiful, strong women of God.
Oh,
thank
thank you,
you.
Ditto.
Thank you.
Yakima.
She's on mute. You keep
You
you
on
on
mute?
mute.
We can't hear you.
She's on, she's on mute.
Be careful, girl. Be careful. Okay, go ahead, Miss Paula.
I just want to say it has been a pleasure. The last two podcasts, and I think thank you, Victoria, for this. This is a pathway. This is a pathway to, where we each want to end up. But I will end up saying this. Just know this: God did not bring you this far to leave you. You did not come this far by faith to be left alone. So know that you are safe in His arms, and that you're going to be okay, and that 2026 is going to be the year of what I promise you. I promise you.
I snatched that.
Yes.
I snatched that.
Yeah.
We receive
Okay,
it.
Kima, you want to
Yeah.
try and can you talk now? You good?
Yeah, I had to restart this audio. I lost audio.
You good?
I want to thank Mama Bateman for having this platform for us. And going forward, I pray that it grows and more people are included. Because this is a great platform to talk about topics that we normally don't talk about outside of our own heads and our own spaces to heal, right? Because in our community, mental health is just now becoming a topic. So forums like this are needed. So I see 2026 flourishing for Hurt to Heal.
Thank you.
And all of us continuing to walk in our self-inventory and our own accountability and keeping each other accountable.
Exactly.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Beautiful.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
So for me, the one thing that I want everybody to remember is you are priceless. You are worthy. Stand 10 toes down and walk in your purpose unapologetically. So
Yes.
let's remember that self-inventory is a courageous practice. By
Yes.
sharing our weight honestly and choosing small, deliberate actions, we create space for healthier habits, clearer purpose, deeper alignment, and a deeper alignment across every facet of life. So let's commit to the rest of this month to choose one dimension, personal, professional, or spiritual, where you'll conduct a small, short, honest inventory and commit to that one concrete action. And then next year, we're going to return and we're going to let y'all see what God working with, because we're going to show you that right now it might be a start, but in 2026, we're going to take it to a whole nother level.
That's right.
Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us.
Tonight, we wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Remember to walk in your purpose. The papers will come. Be that light in darkness, because sometimes just a smile is a light that a person needs.
That's it.
Above all, remember, you are priceless.
Yes.
Good night. We love you.
We love you.
And we will see you in 2026. Oh, I forgot to say, my book did not come out on the 16th, but it will be out before Christmas.
Okay.
So as soon as it comes out, I will be doing a special, I guess, announcement
Okay.
on the podcast. But ladies, again, thank you. Merry Christmas. You all do have gifts coming. It's gonna be a few minutes though, because I gotta wait for everything to come together. But I humbly appreciate all of you for taking out the time to ride on this journey with me, and I can't wait to see what God has in store for each one of you for 2026.
Hey, Jerry and Vicky, can you stay on the line for a second after you get there?
Sure. So you all be blessed. We will talk to you all later. Love y'all.
Love you.
Have an amazing
Love you
rest
guys.
of 2025.
Happy holidays, ladies.
Good night.